Beeline. Neutral. Good set over here.
Yep. Just purrs.
Race in 1917.
Awesome.
Same car, number 3.
So where was this?
Weeksfield and Fairbanks.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Fairbanks car, that's cool.
Car, yeah. I got 2 of them.
2 from this picture?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know which car it is. It's got a speedster body on it.
Okay.
Whereas the body's been, I restored the body last winter, but I didn't really jump on a paint job. So it's just getting a paint job.
Yep.
I got a center engine yet, rear end, front end yet, so it's going to take all winter for the second car, you know.
Yeah. Good so far. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Keep going if you can. Let me take a second and paint a picture for all you at home. Let's say you live in Alaska. You're about over halfway through the summer months. You haven't gotten a damn thing done with all your vehicles or other various projects. There are forest fires raging all around you. I don't know if you can see the smoke haze on camera, but it's there and in my lungs. It's so dusty. Every time a car goes up the road, you can't breathe for 20 minutes. So, what do you do in that circumstance? Well, you bring home another car. So what you see here is a Dodge Lancer. It's either a 61 or 62. I'll need to look into that a little bit further. It's one of those cars with the aggressive styling Dodge did back in 60 through 62 that people either love or hate. Most of them hate it. But in my defense, the car was free, so there's that. One thing you will notice is the glass is perfect on this car. There's not one chip, there's not a crack, there's a tiny bit of fogging on the windshield, that's it. I think the styling worked a little bit better on the back end of the car here than the front. Doesn't look bad. I love the taillight style here. And this also has bicentennial plates on it, which is kind of neat. Not sure what they were doing with this rear quarter. Looks like somebody put some lead in here at one point. You can see that the car was sitting down in the ground for quite a while. I did not have the privilege of digging this one out myself. A little bit of rot, not bad. The front drums are completely seized up. Didn't realize that until we were trying to offload it from the trailer. The guy I got it from was kind enough to load it with his forklift, which was neat. Was a slant 6 car. Transmission's still here. This side's relatively good. Has a whiskey dent here. That kind of sucks. That's going to be a pain in the ass to pull. But yeah, just look at how perfect this windshield is. All the glass. Even the interior isn't that bad. Needs to be cleaned out, clearly. And, you know, the door cards are water damaged, which sucks, but there is not one rip or crack in these seats yet, which is nice. Has the push-button transmission. All the doors open and close real nice. Floors are pretty much gone, which is sadly expected. Package tray is huge on this car. This has 13-inch wheels on it, which is kind of interesting for a car of this era. You would think it would have at least 14s, but I guess it is kind of a smaller model. Locking gas cap that I don't have the key for, that's neat. I'm going to start by throwing the hood on it. The hinges are completely locked up, so I'm going to take those off and just lay the hood on the car. So at least sitting in the yard, it looks more complete and presentable. Dare I say, almost respectable even. You don't realize just how flat this thing is until it's sitting on the ground. It did get just as much, if not more, attention at the show, though, than the not flat 69 Charger that showed up. It's been a hot minute since I've actually put out a video, so I don't think you guys have seen this truck either. I got this from a neighbor of mine. He had been trying to sell it for a while and just decided it wasn't worth the effort. It needs either head gaskets and rings or just a whole new motor thrown in there. I'm going to just try to track down another 302 to put in it. That'll be the easier way to go, but what's neat about this is there is zero rot anywhere in the truck. A little bit of body damage, of course, but, you know, it is an almost 30-year-old truck. Interior is extremely clean. I have a bench seat I'm going to put in here because I'm fat and fuck trying to get in and out of that chair all the time. It was a really nice jade green at one point. I think a paint restoration video on this would be kind of neat. Front end's all torn apart to pull the engine, but I have everything to put it back together. Just a little 302 under there. Really clean truck though, so for the price you can't say no. Typical Dodge sheet metal. As with almost all Dodge products, you need to open the trunk with a flathead screwdriver, but we're in now, and I'll show you guys roughly what's happening around here. Ignore all the dead things, but the important bit is there's actually a trunk floor, which is really fucking surprising. It's pretty decent on both sides. There's various slant 6 bits and pieces in here. The mat itself would probably actually come back around if you wanted to. Old stickers and everything underneath here. This does not open up very far. Like that is max height there. So my head is going to meet that a lot. So something that's interesting that I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick up good enough is this fender was actually resprayed at one point. You can see the original white right around the antenna base here, and then the darker white is what they sprayed it over with. And it doesn't look like they did any prep work at all because it's just chipping off. So that fender could probably use a whole wet sand to try to get down to that original base coat, but I'm not going to dedicate that much time to this right now. Now you're going to want to shine up the ancient Sears tires that are going to pop and take out your shins. See, now is it stupid? Yes, but clean or brand new tires on an older car do make a world of difference. And while on the subject of tires, let's take a look at the Challenger and how badass these look on the back of here. That one has a slow leak, but it's fine. It's hanging in there. So I'm not going to film the whole process here because I want to make some progress and that takes twice as long. But I want to show you this rear quarter specifically. I already started cleaning right over here, but I think anywhere where there is paint left, it's going to come back to white, and that's going to be quite a big difference. And over here, found this while cleaning out the back seat and thought, oh, that might be useful. Or not. Well, it has been a hot minute since I started cleaning out the interior of the Lancer. I didn't need to actually unbolt the front seat. That just kind of ripped out of the floor, which is neat. There was a really nice condition build sheet underneath the back seat, which I'll put in a picture of here. And then over this way. So this section of floor, really good. Trunk, really good. This section of floor, not so good. You know, right about there, that's fine. I was expecting it to be bad, but not quite this bad. This is about the worst I have seen and ever contemplated trying to fix. The only benefit here is the car is relatively straight. It's not sagging or anything, so the structure in the trunk and where the back seat would go is kind of tying it all together. And the rocker panels are somehow solid. I don't understand what happened there. So the support structure on this side is, could be worse. The driver's side, though, is really fucking thin. That's what kind of sketches me out about this. So this is one of those cars that's not really worth restoring just because of what it is, unless you have sentimental attachments to this specific year, model, whatever. I still want to get it on the road, though, so I think I'm going to just hoard a couple street signs, get a couple dozen boxes of self-tappers, and see if I can tie this all back together. It's not going to be the safest, it's not going to be a long-term fix, but it will last as long as the rest of the car does, most likely. And yes, the correct thing to do would be to weld new sheet metal in here. The problem is, there's really nowhere to weld to. How this whole car didn't flex when it was being loaded on the trailer by the forklift is beyond me. That's something I was looking for. Because I knew the floors were bad, I just didn't think they were going to be this bad. I didn't crawl under the car while it was suspended for evident reasons. But, yeah, this is kind of where we are.
Ethering and starting at 318 on the shop floor.
Yeah. I felt the heat from that over here. So it runs.
Yeah, it runs.
Did it shoot fire at you?
The exhaust port shot like dirt and whatnot.
Yeah.
Never fear, Cole. This ether has upper cylinder lubricant.
Mm-hmm. My biggest concern is the distributor frying, but
kind of at half throttle now.
Yeah.
You can just inform the YouTube that like just full on, burnout levels of power here, and they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, he's totally not lying."
Yeah.
Put your face right over that.